This is a gratitude practice. And the purpose and the intention for this practice is to open up and receive all of the goodness in your life. It is very easy to get into a mental pattern of how we look at our lives and only to notice what needs to be fixed or what is missing. And so we need to intentionally and actively practice recognizing and feeling and becoming familiar with all of the goodness that we have. And so this gratitude practice allows for that. In preparation, I would like for you to either be sitting or laying down. And we're going to begin with a breathing practice to build connection and awareness in the breath channels before we engage with our gratitude practice. We're going to be breathing into 3 separate parts of the body. We'll begin with the stomach, then we'll move up to the ribs, and then we'll move up to the chest. So to prepare for the breathing into our belly, please place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And as you inhale, expand your belly. And as you exhale, you should feel your belly contracting, compressing, while your chest remains neutral. And so continue with this awareness and this intention to breathe into your belly, feeling your belly expanding with each inhale, feeling it contracting with each exhale. And if you are finding it challenging, just stay with it. Sometimes it's just that we don't often bring awareness to these parts of our bodies. And just by staying with it, we will start to realize that as we get more familiar with it, it becomes more clear and easier. So just to continue noticing what you're feeling. If you're feeling a sense of ease, that it's very easy for your belly to expand on the inhale. Maybe you're feeling it difficult. Maybe you're feeling somewhat shut off from that area. Everything that you're noticing is perfectly fine. The reason why we do this is to notice things in ourselves, to notice how we are in these specific areas of our body. So continue with the practice of the inhale and the exhale with an emphasis on the belly. Just noticing how you feel in this space. Noticing if the breath feels smooth and easy, or if it feels a little forced or choppy. Everything that you notice expands your awareness of yourself. And now I'd like for you to take your hands and to place them on both of your ribs. So one hand on each side of your ribs. And this time when you inhale, you will be inhaling with an intention to expand into the ribs. And so the way to do this is that you will kind of begin as you were with the belly. You will inhale into the belly for the first part, and then you will bring that inhale up and into the ribs. So start with the inhale into your belly, and then for the second half of the inhale, focus your attention on bringing it up a little further and feeling it expand outwards in the ribs. And with that, the aim is that you will feel your ribs expanding, going outwards on the inhale, and then contracting, going inwards in the exhale. And just noticing, how does this feel different to breathing into your belly? Is it smoother? Is it more challenging? Do you feel connected to it? Do you feel disconnected from it? Just being able to maintain the practice of staying with your breath whilst also noticing what you're feeling inside. Holding both things at the same time. Staying in the practice and also having an awareness, a broad awareness, to pick up on what is happening within your body. There is no right or wrong in this scenario. There is no perfect form. The intention here is so much more just about bringing you into your body and becoming more aware of yourself. It's through these kinds of practices that we get direct knowledge about ourselves, things that nobody can tell us, we can only discover for ourselves. So continue to stay with this breath into your ribs for just a few more breaths, continuing to bring the breath into the belly to begin with, and then bringing it up into the ribs. And as you do that, just noticing how you feel in your chest and your shoulders and your neck as you inhale and exhale into the ribs. Because this breath has an effect on many parts of the body, not just the ribs. And now I'd like for you to bring your hands just beneath your collarbones. And this time we're going to inhale into the chest. Breathe into the chest. We will inhale and exhale in the chest area. And so continuing with the connection to the belly and the ribs, we will actually continue that thread of initially breathing into the belly and then moving as we inhale that breath up through the ribs and up into the chest. And as your hands are just placed below your collarbones, you, at some point, maybe you will not feel it initially, but at some point through practicing this, you will start to feel your chest rising upwards, up and out. And so just try and follow that process of beginning with the inhale into the belly, then very early on in that inhale, moving it up into the ribs and continuing it all the way up to the chest. And feeling that contact of how the chest is responding to the breath. How is it moving? And I'd like for you to bring your attention to notice what's different here. How does this way of breathing feel different to what you experienced in the belly and what you experienced in the ribs? How are you feeling inside? And it could be so small, seemingly insignificant, but just to notice it, can you name inside how it feels different to you? And also just to notice what you feel inside your chest. Does it feel tight? Does it feel spacious? Does it feel fluttery? I have recently been experiencing this fluttering sensation in my chest, and it's happening at random times throughout the day, but when I bring my awareness into my breath and I breathe into the chest, like you are doing right now, for some reason that fluttering stops. Now, I don't know why the fluttering is there, and I don't know why it stops, but I am aware of it. And so just like you are doing right now, you don't necessarily have to understand everything you're feeling or why you're feeling it, but it's very helpful to be aware of what you're feeling. And so you can release your hands down now to rest them wherever is comfortable for you. And maintain this breath of breathing into the belly, up through the ribs and into the chest. And just as it begins in the belly, on the inhale, the exhale will begin in the chest. We will feel the chest compressing first. Then it will move down into the ribs where they start to compress, and finally we'll feel the breath leaving us in the belly. So just notice this cycle where in the inhale we start in the belly, move up to the ribs and up to the chest. And then on the exhale, we exhale from the chest, and then we continue that exhalation down into the ribs and finish with the belly. And so I'd just like you to connect with that for a few breaths to find some sense of fluidity there. And now in the space between your inhale and exhale, it might be for half a second or a second, that space that comes at the end of your inhale, just before you're about to exhale, or that space that comes at the end of the exhale, just before you're about to inhale. When that space arises, which could be for half a second or a second, just rest your attention in your chest. And when I say rest your attention, I mean just where you sit, your awareness and your attention, let it be in your chest. And you do that by noticing what you feel. And I'd like for it to ideally just be in the middle of your chest, in the center of your breastplate. So just practice that with me for a few breaths. That small moment between the inhale and the exhale, just rest in that space. Feeling just that little bit of support and rest that is there. And the reason why I say rest is because it is actually the only moment where there is rest in the body when we're breathing, because the inhalation and the exhalation process are both active. They offer us different things. The inhale activates us, the exhale relaxes us, but nonetheless they remain active processes. And so it's helpful just to practice finding that moment of rest, which can just be half a second or a second. And so from that place where you are resting, in those brief moments, this is the area that we are going to activate and engage as we bring gratitude and love and acceptance into our body. I would like for you to begin by letting your body know how grateful you are for it. And you can express it in whichever words you wish, but thanking it, loving it, and in many ways letting it know that you accept it. It is extremely easy for us to be criticizing our bodies constantly for how it looks or for how it feels or for how it holds us, wishing it to be different. And I'd like for you to take this opportunity to thank you for how it is. You can begin by thanking your feet, thanking them for how they hold you and support you. Thanking your legs for how they move you through the world. Thanking your arms for everything that they make possible in life. Thanking your torso for everything it does, the ability to breathe life in, to eat food, digest it, to create energy, for the strength that it provides us. To thank your face, your beautiful face. It is your face. And at times, we might even experience a certain resistance or tension in this, because we might be so unused to bringing love and gratitude and thanks to these parts of our body or certain parts. And so this is part of the practice, is that sometimes it might feel uncomfortable or unnatural, but we have to give unconditional love to ourselves. It's really important. It's really important to acknowledge the beauty for who we are. Not looking at it through a lens of comparing ourselves to others, but just to be grateful for being alive and for having the body that we have, which supports us and holds us. It is our first and primary home. So treat it with gratitude and care and love and respect. And even if it feels difficult to begin with, I encourage you to engage, to be loving and accepting of these many aspects of yourself. Because even though it might be difficult to begin with and unfamiliar, it will become more familiar through this practice. You can also thank your brain and what it does for you, for how much it conducts in your life, how much it organizes. Your eyes, for the beauty of being able to see so many beautiful things in the world. Your nose, for the experience of scent. your tongue for the pleasure that you receive from being able to taste and experience such a variety of flavors. And your ears for the incredible experience that we get of being able to hear what is happening around us, whether that is just noticing what's happening in our environment, or being in nature, or listening to music that we love, whatever it may be, and whatever it is for you, just to thank the opportunity to hear. And also the experience of touch. Just to notice what you're sensing in your body, maybe where you're sitting or how your clothes feel on you. Just to thank this experience of being able to actually experience the sensation of touch. The joy that we feel when we get to hug and embrace people we love. When we get to feel comfortable, cozy. And now I'd like for you to expand out this love that you're feeling, this gratitude that you're feeling, to the space where you are. Maybe you're outdoors in nature, maybe you're indoors at your home or a hotel or somewhere you're visiting. But wherever you are, I would like you to give thanks and gratitude for the space where you are and for how it's supporting you and for all that you have around you. If you're in your home, to maybe appreciate the comforts that you have, the warmth, the objects that you love, the objects that bring you joy. And similarly, if you're outdoors, just to thank nature for its generosity and all that it gives us. And now I'd like for you to invite in people or animals in your life who bring you love and bring you joy and who you love. And to feel, once again, this connection within our chest, in that space where you were resting, to feel gratitude, to really thank them and to acknowledge how grateful you are to have them in your life for what they have offered to you. And why are you grateful for them? And feel their presence. Feel their presence in your body. And as you're feeling this and connecting with the gratitude and the love that you feel for these people, let the feeling and the experience of gratitude expand out from the chest as well. The center of it begins in the chest. But let it also expand out whilst also staying connected to your breath, noticing that cycle of the breath, beginning in your belly, moving up through the ribs and into the chest, leaving from the chest, moving out through the ribs and finishing in the belly. We cannot live this life alone. We need others, and it is through the support of others that we grow. So thank those who have supported you presently or in the past. And now I'd like you to bring your gratitude to life, to the journey of life, the challenges we face, the opportunities we get, the encounters we have, the places that we go to really just connect with whatever is alive and present for you in this moment of where you are at on your journey. Sometimes we are in the midst of great challenge. Sometimes we're in the midst of great opening and abundance and joy. Wherever we are, it's important to feel grateful for it, to receive the goodness. So I invite you to receive the goodness for what you have in your life right now. And now, as we come to the end of this practice, I'd like for you to just check back in with your breath to that cycle. Beginning on the inhale in the belly, moving up to the ribs and up to the chest. Beginning the exhale from the chest, moving down through the ribs and into the belly. Feeling that life force move through you. To be so grateful for this air that moves through us. It truly is the life force that we have. When this is restricted or taken from us, it's the only thing we want. And now, I'd like for you to make contact with your body, to touch your chest, your belly, your legs, your arms, whichever you want, your face, and to bring love to a part of your body. Maybe a part of your body that you don't often give love to, and to say, I accept you, and I love you. I accept you, and I love you. And really allow yourself to feel that acceptance and that love that you give to yourself. And you can bring it to different body parts if you wish. I accept you and I love you. I accept you and I love you. And now, as we come out of this, I'd like for you to look around wherever you are. Open your eyes and observe the space. And as you look around, notice how grateful you are for this moment in your life. For who you are, for where you are, for what you have. To be here and now, not focused on the future of who you're becoming, but grateful for this present moment. And throughout the rest of this day, as your mind wanders and maybe you start to think about the future, come back to here and now. Come back to this moment, to be grateful for this moment. If you get into a state of comparison, comparing yourself to others, how they look or what they have or who they are, come back to this present moment. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for who they are. Love them without needing to be them. And love yourself without needing to be anything different. This capacity to accept ourselves is the foundation that everything else of growth emerges from. By building from this foundation of acceptance, what emerges is something beautiful, something that's sustaining, something that is life-giving. And so thank yourself for taking these moments to practice a healthier way of living, a healthier way of relating to yourself. Because most of the environments we're in our lives are encouraging us to change and to reject who we are presently for something greater in the future. But you have taken these moments to actually appreciate what you have and who you are now. And I encourage you to come back to this practice regularly, as it will change you deeply from the inside out. Sending you a lot of loves and wishing you a beautiful day ahead.